Hey, this is Ryan, and today I'm going to continue with Datasets on Databricks. So in this guide, the first thing I did was make a notebook in Scala, this time not Python. Okay, so this first line of code, we are going to manually create our own dataset, and this is still in the Scala language. We're going to define range 100 as our value, and we're going to create 100 integers. So Shift Enter to run. And here we go. We made 100 integers. But normally you're going to be loading a sample data set. And Databricks provided a sample called people.json. So if you copy this line, do Shift Enter. We're just going to read this people.json file. And then moving on to this next piece of code, we are going to create a case class with this line of code. Let's run that. And then we can copy this line to read this JSON file with this case class. All right, so that's one example. So moving on to another example, Databricks has another device IoT data JSON file, and we're going to do something similar here. We're going to define a new case class for this data set. So let's copy this line of code. Here's our case class, and now we're going to read this file, iotdevices.json, as device IoT data. Let's run that. And now we can simply view the dataset, display DS. And here we go. Got our battery level, CO2 level, country, device name, and then let's run a Spark command. So we're going to take the first 10 rows and print out the line for each row. And here we go. Okay, let's do a couple more transformations and actions with this data set. So if we copy this line, what we're going to do is make a temporary data set. And we're going to filter this by the temperature that's greater than 25 degrees Celsius. And we want to output the temperature, device name, and country, and then display. Oh, unclose block. Okay, we did get an error, and I believe we have to have another parentheses in here. Put that there to close this out. Let's try that again. There we go. So we have our temperature, device name, and the country. Now we want to use this group by function and average. So let's just copy one of these lines and read that. So we're going to filter this by same temperature, greater than 25 degrees. We want to show the temperature, humidity, and country. And we want to group this by _3, which would be the country. We want that to show as the first column. And we want to take the average values of the temperature and humidity. And now we can display that. Here we go. Here's the country. And I believe this is the temperature and humidity. Okay, now we want to, select individual fields using the data set. We want fields where the battery level is greater than 6. Okay, where battery level is greater than 6, sort by CO2 level. And we are selecting the battery level, CO2 level, and device name. Okay, here's our display table. And in this next example, believe we're going to do something similar, but we're just gonna create a temporary table and then run some SQL queries. So let's register our datasets at temporary table. Yep, so copy that. Made a temporary table. And now let's run a SQL command. So %SQL to make sure we have this language selected. So we'll select the country, count the distinct device IDs from this table, group by the country, and order by the device ID for the for 100 rows. Okay, so here's our country, and here's our device ID. We have 100 rows, and we are sorting by the largest device ID. And if you want to visualize that, then you click this icon and select Map. So United States, number of device IDs. All right, that's it for data sets. And next time we will continue on to machine learning.